tsunami warning and stuff, so then we got told we have to evacuate and be back at 2 o'clock. So yeah, it's 12:05 and I'm leaving because the tsunami warning, so I'm gonna come back at 2 o'clock. It's 4:54 and I'm leaving right now, but today was honestly a good day because there's a tsunami warning, and so people's phones were just like going off and stuff like that. But then I went to talk to my advanced projects friend, and she said she messaged the HR director and was all like, oh, like, should we evacuate? And she was like looking at the maps and stuff, and and then the HR director said yes and be back at 2 p.m. So then we did that, and then I didn't know where to go because I didn't want to go home because I live far away. And then my advanced projects friend just like booked it, like she just left. So yeah, I didn't know what to do, and then I went to go check on the IT people to see what they were doing and stuff, and so then I went there, and then one of the guys was like, oh, do you want to I'm gonna go to this cafe, like, you want to come? And then he's like, I'm gonna go to some cafe and do work there because I have a lot of work. And I'm like, okay, like, I'll think about it. But yeah, and then the IT area is near like the doorway and my desk is in the back, so then I had to go to my desk to get my stuff and all that, because I was like thinking like, should I just stay? But apparently we're not allowed to stay, we have to evacuate. Basically the dilemma is you have to evacuate, like you can't stay in the building, but you can either leave and then come back at 2 o'clock and finish working, or you can leave and then not come back at 2 and then use PTO. So yeah, and then the HR director sent out an email, and then everybody started running around and stuff, like fleeing the scene and all that, and so I'm like, okay, like I'll just go somewhere, like, because I'm not gonna go all the way home because I live like 45 to 60 minutes away, plus $8 starting January 1st. Great. The other thing though is the tsunami was hitting this bay, I believe. So it's kind of funny that people are telling me to go home when I live on that side of the bay. So like I'm just heading into that, and like I have to cross a bridge to get home. So I'm just going to the water, which like they're saying get higher elevation and stay away from the water. So yeah. So then that guy like left, but then he was like looking to make sure his whole team went out, which is nice. And then I went back to my desk area and everybody's just like running away and stuff. And and people are like, what are you doing, like coming back? Because you're supposed to be leaving. And then I'm like, I didn't get my stuff because I had been in a meeting right before this. Like I finished my meeting and then I went to the advanced projects girl to talk to her. So I didn't ever make it to my desk, but and then I went to my desk, got my stuff, and then headed back to the PM area. But then like everybody's gone and stuff, and then I go to the PM area to look for my PM friend, and then I see this one guy is still there. So then I talk to him, and then I call my PM friend, and then me and the guy who are still there are talking to my PM friend who's on the phone, who apparently went to lunch early because she has a meeting with the customer at 1. But she didn't like see the messages and stuff that we have to evacuate. So but that guy's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna leave and like not come back, because we could leave and then not come back and use PTO, or we can leave and come back at 2. So so then I'm like gonna head out and stuff, and then I get a message from the guy that said he's gonna go to the cafe, and he's all like, where are you, WIA? And then I'm like, I'm still here. And then he's like, I'm standing by your car. Which it's in a funny way, because we're chill, like we're good friends now, so it's not in a creepy way, so so it's okay. And then I'm like, oh, like I'm heading there now. So then so then I head out there, and then he's just like standing in like a crosshatch area, because I'm like parked maybe like 40-50 feet from the entrance, and he's like kind of near the entrance. So so he could see my car easily from there. So so then I went and I was just like talking with him and stuff, and and then people were like leaving and stuff, and And then this one guy sees us, and then he's all like, oh, like, where are you guys going? And then I'm like, I don't know. And then he's like, oh, you guys want to go get food? And then I'm just like, I don't know. And then the other guy's like zoned in because he feels like he needs to lock up the building because since everybody's leaving, there's nothing like locked down, I guess. So, and like alarms and stuff, and he feels responsible. So I was standing there waiting with him and stuff, and yeah, and then the guy who was like, oh, like, what are you guys doing? You guys want to go get food? That guy, he, like, because he's parked on the opposite side of the island, he pulled around the island to be on the same side as us, and then he's like, oh, like, you guys want to get food? And then this other guy pulled up, and then the two of them were talking, and then the other guy's like, yeah, sure. So then they invited us to go, and then the guy who I was waiting with said, you want to go? And then I'm like, I don't know, but yeah. And then they said, well, we'll be there. And then I'm like, okay. So then they left. We were walking, kind of, me and the guy who I was originally waiting with and stuff, and then he's like, you want to go? And then I'm like, I don't really want to go. Someone makes me uncomfy, but you can go, like, don't worry about me. And then he's like, no, someone makes me uncomfy too. And then I'm like, oh. So then we didn't go there, and then he got his car, and I still didn't know like what I wanted to do, so I was like leaning on my car because, like, I don't know, I didn't know what I wanted to do at that point. And then he pulled his car up to my car, like, my car's in the parking spot, and then he pulled up, so like he's blocking me in. But yeah, and then this other guy pulled up and parked, and then he's like, oh, like, me and my group are going to Jack's if you guys want to come. And then I'm like, okay, I'm stuck behind a train, so we'll probably be here for a while. But yeah, and so then the second guy pulled up, and he's like, oh, like, we're going to Jack's if you want to come. But like, I still didn't really want to go. Like, I don't know, I wasn't in the mood to be like hanging out with a whole bunch of people that I wasn't really like friends with and spend money and all that. So then this guy, because he's in his car still and I'm outside the car, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna go, but you can go, like, don't worry about me. Again, because like, it's fine, he doesn't have to not go to something because I don't want to go to something. So yeah, but then he's like, I think we're gonna pass or something like that. So yeah, so then the guy's like, okay, and then he drove away. And yeah, and then I'm like, so, like, what do you want to do? And then he's like, hold on, because I think he was emailing somebody. And then I'm like, okay. So then I was just like chilling outside waiting, and then I saw my coworker and then walking. So then I'm like, where are you going? Are you coming back at 2 or not? And then he's like, I'm not coming back at 2. And then I'm like, so you're PTOing? And he's like, I'm not doing that either. And then I'm like, okay, you're not coming back at 2 and you're not PTOing. Okay. And then he's like, yeah, exactly. But yeah. But then the guy who I was waiting with, I'm like, we can either go somewhere or not, or this cafe, the one that he mentioned going to, or you can do your own thing, like, that's okay, like, don't worry about me. And then he's like, okay, let's go to the cafe. And then I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, wait, are you okay driving? And then he's like, yeah. So then I walk around his car to hop in, and then yeah, then he decided he wanted to go to a different place, but then we drove to that place and then it wasn't open, so then we had to go to that cafe. But yeah, it's fine, because I mean, he knows the owner of the cafe. But yeah, and so we went to the cafe, and then we chilled and did work. And well, I pulled out my computer and he pulled out his, and then he was answering an email, but then he's like, do you want to order anything? And then I'm like, I'm okay. And then he went to go order. So he ordered something that he knew I would eat. And then yeah, then we were like, I was working and stuff, and then he was kind of working kind of on his phone. Then when the order got called, then he's like, I ordered a ham and cheese croissant, we can split it. And then I'm like, that's okay, like, if you're hungry, then eat it, like, it's okay. And then he's like, no. And then he cut it in half, and then he gave me half. And then I ate it, yeah. Then we did like work for maybe a little bit, a tiny bit, like a really short time. And then we played one game of cards, and then he's like, let's go for a drive. And then I'm like, okay. So then we went, and then as we're driving to I don't know where, then he's like, oh wait, I'm gonna go to my house real quick. And then I'm like, okay. So then we go to his house, but then we got there and then he parked in the garage. I'm like, oh, like, do you want me to stay in the car? Like, that's okay if I, like, I don't, yeah. And then he's, cause I don't want to invite myself into someone's house, you know? And so then he's like, no, you can come. And then I follow him, and then I was just chilling in like that room. He like ran into his house and stuff and whatever, and then got whatever he needed. And then he came back. And then we were kind of in a rush because he wanted to get back at like 2, but we ended up getting back at like 2:05, but it's okay.